Tales of Tomorrow, where the future of storytelling comes to life. Hey there, fellow explorers of the unknown, and welcome back to Tales of Tomorrow. Today, we have a spine-tingling tale that is sure to keep you on the edge of your seat. Prepare to venture into the eerie village of Blackwood Hollow, where an ancient curse, a haunted mansion, and the bravery of three friends come together in a chilling saga of dark magic, vengeful spirits, and the battle between light and darkness. This thrilling tale, known as The Shadows of Ravenshadow Manor, will take you on a journey filled with mystery, horror, and the power of friendship. So, turn off the lights, grab your favorite blanket, and get ready to delve into a world where the veil between our reality and the supernatural is dangerously thin. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest spine-chilling stories. And if you enjoy this tale of terror, don't forget to give this video a like and share it with your friends who love a good scare. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the chilling tale of The Shadows of Ravenshadow Manor. Remember, my fellow explorers, the darkness may be terrifying, but it's the tales of tomorrow that truly haunt our dreams. In the quaint village of Blackwood Hollow, nestled deep within a dense forest, there existed an ancient, cursed mansion known as Ravenshadow Manor. For generations, the villagers had shared ghost stories about the manor, warning their children to never venture near it. The stories were filled with whispers of dark magic, vengeful spirits, and a malevolent force that resided within the crumbling walls. The Ravenshadow family had lived in the manor for centuries, their fortune amassed through dark and sinister means. The patriarch, Lord Aldrich Ravenshadow, was an imposing figure whose very presence instilled fear. His wife, Lady Cassandra Ravenshadow, was a cold and calculating woman with a chilling beauty. Together they had two children, a son named Lucian and a daughter named Seraphina, both of whom were said to possess unnatural abilities. As the children of Blackwood Hollow grew older, their curiosity about Ravenshadow Manor only intensified. A group of daring adolescents, Emma, Jack, and Lila, decided to investigate the manor and uncover the truth behind the stories. They believed that if they could unravel the manor's secrets, they could put an end to the dark cloud that hung over their village. On a moonless night, the three friends set out towards the manor, armed with nothing but their courage and a few flashlights. The forest surrounding the manor seemed to come alive, the wind whispering secrets as the trees reached out with gnarled branches. The closer they got to the manor, the heavier the atmosphere became, as if the very air was suffocating them. Finally, they reached the imposing iron gates of Ravenshadow Manor. With a loud creak, the gates swung open, and the manor loomed before them like a dark sentinel. Swallowing their fear, the friends crossed the threshold and entered the house. The interior of Ravenshadow Manor was a twisted labyrinth of decaying rooms and long, dimly lit corridors. The walls were adorned with eerie paintings of the Ravenshadow family, each one more unsettling than the last. The air was thick with the scent of mold and something else, something darker. As they explored the manor, the friends discovered a hidden room behind a dusty bookcase. Within the room, they found a collection of ancient tomes and scrolls detailing dark rituals and forbidden knowledge. It was clear that the Ravenshadow family had been practicing dark magic for generations. Suddenly, they heard footsteps echoing through the halls. Panicked, the friends hid in the hidden room, leaving a small crack in the bookcase to see who approached. Lady Cassandra and her children, Lucian and Seraphina, entered the room adjacent to the hidden chamber, their voices barely a whisper. The three friends strained to listen, their hearts pounding with fear and anticipation. "We must prepare for the ritual," Lady Cassandra said, her voice dripping with malice. "The time has come to awaken the darkness within our bloodline." Lucian and Seraphina nodded, their eyes gleaming with a sinister light. The friends watched in terror as the Ravenshadow family began to set up an elaborate altar, decorated with dark symbols and flickering candles. The air grew colder, and an overwhelming sense of dread filled the room. Emma, Jack, and Lila realized they had stumbled upon something far more terrifying than they could have ever imagined. They knew they had to escape the manor and warn the village of the impending danger. As they attempted to leave the hidden room, the bookcase creaked, alerting the Ravenshadow family to their presence. Lady Cassandra's eyes widened, and she let out an ear-piercing shriek that sent chills down the friends' spines. "You dare to spy on us?" she hissed, her voice like ice. "You foolish children have no idea what you've just done." Lady Cassandra waved her hand, and the friends found themselves unable to move, held in place by some invisible force. The room seemed to close in on them as Lucian and Seraphina approached, their eyes filled with malevolence. "Your meddling has sealed your fate," Lucian sneered. "You shall serve as the final sacrifice for our ritual." Emma, Jack, and Lila struggled against the dark magic that bound them, but it was no use. They were dragged towards the altar, their screams echoing through the halls of Ravenshadow Manor. As the ritual began, the friends felt an overwhelming darkness enter their souls, threatening to consume them. They watched, powerless, as the Ravenshadow family chanted in an ancient language, the air crackling with dark energy. In a final act of desperation, Emma managed to free her hand and grabbed a nearby candlestick. With all her strength, she hurled it at the altar, disrupting the ritual. The darkness that had been gathering around them recoiled, causing the Ravenshadow family to scream in agony. Seizing the opportunity, Jack and Lila broke free from their bonds and pulled Emma to her feet. The three friends ran through the labyrinthine corridors of the manor, the enraged cries of the Ravenshadow family echoing behind them. As they burst through the front doors of Ravenshadow Manor, the friends felt the darkness within them dissipate. The manor shook with fury, the walls crumbling around them as they raced towards the safety of the village. When the villagers of Blackwood Hollow awoke the next morning, Ravenshadow Manor was nothing but a pile of rubble, the dark magic that had once inhabited it seemingly vanquished. Emma, Jack, and Lila were hailed as heroes, and their tale of bravery became legend. But deep within the ruins of Ravenshadow Manor, a malevolent force stirred, waiting for the day it would rise again to cast its shadow over Blackwood Hollow. Years passed, and the legend of Emma, Jack, and Lila became a distant memory. The village of Blackwood Hollow slowly began to heal, the darkness that once shrouded it gradually lifting. Life went on, and the ruins of Ravenshadow Manor remained undisturbed, buried beneath layers of overgrown vegetation. One fateful day, a stranger arrived in Blackwood Hollow. He was a tall, enigmatic man with piercing eyes and an air of mystery. He claimed to be a historian, interested in the tale of Ravenshadow Manor and the dark magic that once plagued the village. The stranger, who introduced himself as Dr. Alistair Grayson, sought out Emma, Jack, and Lila, now adults with families of their own. The three friends, now forever bound by their shared past, agreed to meet with Dr. Grayson. They shared their story with him, recounting the horrifying events that transpired within the walls of Ravenshadow Manor. Dr. Grayson listened intently, his eyes gleaming with a mixture of fascination and something darker. "I believe that the dark force that once inhabited Ravenshadow Manor still lingers," Dr. Grayson said, his voice low and urgent. "It lies dormant, waiting for someone to awaken it. We must ensure that the darkness is banished for good, lest it rise again and threaten Blackwood Hollow." Emma, Jack, and Lila knew that Dr. Grayson was right. They could not allow the village they loved to be threatened by the malevolent force that still haunted the ruins of the manor. And so, they agreed to help Dr. Grayson in his quest to vanquish the darkness once and for all. Under the cover of night, the four of them ventured into the overgrown ruins of Ravenshadow Manor. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and an overwhelming sense of dread washed over them as they entered the crumbling remains of the manor. Dr. Grayson led them to the remains of the hidden room, where they found a tattered and weathered tome. It contained a ritual to banish the darkness, but it required a sacrifice, a pure heart, untainted by the darkness. As they prepared to perform the ritual, the atmosphere within the ruins grew colder, and an otherworldly presence seemed to surround them. The darkness within the ruins stirred, aware that its existence was being threatened. The ritual began, the air crackling with energy as Dr. Grayson chanted in an ancient language. Emma, Jack, and Lila felt the darkness rise up around them, desperate to defend itself. It lashed out, clawing at their souls, trying to corrupt their hearts and thwart the ritual. But the three friends held strong, their love for each other and their village providing a shield against the darkness. As the ritual reached its climax, a blinding flash of light filled the ruins, and the darkness was ripped away, banished in the shadows of the world, determined to protect the innocent from the malevolent forces that lurked just beyond the veil of reality. In the years that followed, the village of Blackwood Hollow flourished, free from the oppressive darkness that had once shrouded it. Emma, Jack, and Lila were revered as protectors of the village, their bravery and sacrifice never forgotten. As their children and grandchildren grew, the three friends would often gather around the fireplace and recount their harrowing tale. Their story became a symbol of hope and resilience for the people of Blackwood Hollow, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the bonds of love and friendship could overcome any evil. The ruins of Ravenshadow Manor were eventually reclaimed by the forest, its dark legacy fading into obscurity. But the legend of the three friends who had twice vanquished the darkness would live on, passed down through generations, a testament to the power of courage and the indomitable human spirit. And as for Dr. Alistair Grayson, his journey led him to the far corners of the earth, unraveling ancient mysteries and battling the darkness wherever it arose. His name became synonymous with hope and protection, and his legacy would inspire generations of seekers to follow in his footsteps. In the end, the tale of Blackwood Hollow, Ravenshadow Manor, and the brave souls who triumphed over evil became a beacon of light in a world filled with shadows, a reminder that even the darkest night would eventually give way to the dawn. And so, my friends, we have come to the end of the chilling tale of The Whispers of Redwood Manor. It is a story that reminds us of the strength and resilience of the human spirit in the face of darkness, and the powerful bonds of love and friendship that can triumph over evil. As we close the book on this haunting tale, let us carry with us the lessons we've learned. For in a world filled with shadows, we must never underestimate the light that each of us carries within, and the power that we hold when we stand united against the darkness. If you enjoyed this chilling journey into the world of Blackwood Hollow and the mysterious Redwood Manor, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow thrill seekers. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when Tales of Tomorrow brings you another spine-tingling tale from the edges of darkness. But before we part ways, remember that sometimes the most frightening stories are the ones that lurk just beneath the surface of our own reality, waiting for the chance to whisper their secrets into the night. So keep your eyes open, your flashlight close, and your courage at hand, for who knows what shadows lie just beyond the veil. Until next time, brave souls, sleep well and remember, the whispers of Redwood Manor are never far away.